You are now listening to the Signal Sports Podcast on Signal Sports Radio. All right, everybody. I'm here, Rashad Milligan of the Signal. I'm here with my great friend Ben. Ben, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Rashad, man. Just doing some chilling right here.
Great. So free agency for the NBA is coming up in a couple of weeks. Teams can officially meet with other teams, with players, on July 1st, which is tonight at midnight. Dwight Howard, his first two teams that will be pitching to him are the Hawks and the Celtics. What do you think about the chances of Dwight coming back to his hometown?
I mean, I'll be honest, they're up in the air. I mean, to be honest, I feel like I'd probably find them a lot more realistic than, obviously going after Kevin Durant, even though the Hawks have said that, they've expressed interest. But, I feel like with the Durant, going after Kevin Durant or even trying to talk to him, that's more of just, Tony Ressler and Hawks manager's way of just saying we're putting our best foot forward, even though, I don't think their chances of landing him will be great. But it wouldn't surprise me, if they could try to find a offer that could interest Howard, especially when you're looking at, the state of the team right now with the fact that they don't really have a quote-unquote superstar player. Al Horford could be asking for a 5-year deal, which, I think the Hawks and a lot of their fans feel like, as good as a player as Horford is, he's not ready for that kind of money. Also, you talk about having to have a change guard, losing Jeff Teague and having Dennis Schroeder now become a point guard. And also there's talk that, is there a possibility of having, if they're going to be able to keep Kim Bazemore in the next year or two. So, I mean, I can see it, but I'm not holding my breath. I mean, but it wouldn't surprise me they did land him.
Yeah, most definitely. I think they have a way better chance than they did the last time he was a free agent and he went to Houston. But just like you said, the Hawks, they made such a bold move before the draft with trading away Jeff Teague, an all-star. And now you're kind of stuck where you have to make a position and they have to go out and get a star just to please those fans a little more. Dwight Howard, he's a little past the superstar range, I would say, but he's still a big name and he still can play and he can rebound, and he would definitely be the Hawks' best big man if he went there with or without Horford. I think a lot of the reasons why fans are so skeptic about giving Al Horford 5 years is because he's a guy that's missed 2 seasons back-to-back just a couple of years ago. And, ever since he's come back, he's turned into a perimeter player. He's taken a lot more threes. He's kind of scared to get down on the post like he did at the beginning of his career and kind of rough up those shoulders some more.
Yeah, and I think the thing is that, you have heard about some of the problems with Dwight Howard, but I think that, just speaking on the court, you actually have now a true center, and a true big man down low. And I think that's one thing that has been, missing from this Hawks team for years. The thing is that now, all things considered, I think Al Horford has done, a great job has done a good job, playing a 5.
Yeah,
but but the thing is though is that in all honesty, I mean he's more of a 4 though. I mean he's had to play the 5 spot, but I just kind of feel like he's always played out of position, having to play under, considering the fact that even though this is more of a guard driven league and the center position is not as valued, I just feel like he's always somewhat underutilized and kind of used wrong as as a center, where, if he was used as a 4, I think he would be a lot more versatile, I think that he'd also be, the Hawks would have had a true center and moved Horford to power forward and have Millsap maybe play a small forward, I think that offense could have done more. I think they probably could have won more games. They could have probably been able to utilize their talent more because, the good thing about that offense was that, you do have good shooting between Teague, at the time, between Teague, Millsap, Horford, and Korver, you did have good shooting and good ball movement through all of them. And I think that, it was just that lack of a center that didn't allow Horford to be able to, move around like seems like he wants to. I mean, now the other thing, you are right, the fact that he is taking a lot more perimeter shots, which is kind of concerning to me, especially as a big man, and especially as a guy with his height and what he's been able to do. And yeah, he's not been able to attack the post. I mean, not as much as like even like when DeMarre Carroll was here last year. I mean, that was he was not always as aggressive as like Carroll was.
Yeah,
was under the basket, which was kind of one of the hard. Which also was kind of one of the things that was kind of a downside. I think why DeMarre's value went up too.
Yeah, definitely
when he left. But I mean, I really would like to. I really would like to see what would happen with Dwight talking with the Hawks. Because I mean, I don't necessarily think that Howard needs to be, I don't think he necessarily needs to carry the team, though.
Yeah, definitely.
And the thing is that, you do get that star player, even if it's not as, even if it's not in the same role as, like, someone like as Kevin Durant would be.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I feel like, though, there's enough talent on this team where, all they're missing is that star player.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can get a star player like Howard who can, get those rebounds, get the points, be able to box out and post like you need to in that offense. I mean, I think you have enough talent between Schroeder, between Millsap. I think Korver, honestly, I think Korver can. Well, I think he should be coming off the bench, but I think he could still play some good minutes and everything. And I think
he's got maybe a year left.
Yeah, but I still think you get some. You can still utilize him for about that year. I mean, there's no question he is declining, but So you're gonna have to probably get a new 6-man at some point. But also, I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr. could also showing some potential as well. So I mean. But that's the thing. I think that the Hawks honestly are probably just like I said, I think one or two big pieces away from actually being able to contend with Cleveland. Because I mean, I think that Dwight Howard would be a hard matchup for Tristan Thompson. If the Hawks do end up meeting Cleveland in the playoffs again next year. So
yeah, the one question I would have though is if you're Dwight Howard. You talk a lot about he can be that star player if he went to the Hawks and this and that. That's what he's looking for, and that's what the Hawks are looking for. Boston is also kind of in the same position. So if you're Dwight Howard, why would you choose Atlanta over Boston?
Well, I think if you're Dwight Howard, I think the thing is that come from my perspective, you see a Hawks team that does seem to have the talent. Keep in mind, this was a Hawks team that 2 seasons ago did get to the Eastern Conference Final without a quote-unquote star player. I think that they have an offense that works, that really does move the ball around well, and, doesn't necessarily have to go through him for ball handling. And I think that's the thing, because they do the ball handling, they don't necessarily need him to dribble the ball. Like I said, he can just get rebounds. He can just, he can be able to put the ball in the basket. I don't think they'll even have to ask him to, take, they're not going to ask him to take shots from outside the perimeter or, really take even too many shots outside the semicircle because, to be honest, that has been one of his Achilles' heels is, being able to shoot the ball well.
I don't care. As long as he gets those rebounds and blocks, I'll take him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I feel like, Boston is a good team, but I still feel like, they're still kind of in a rebuilding phase. I mean, they have a good thing in Isaiah Thomas. It looks like, he's developing and could be a good star for them, but I still feel like, they're still kind of going through a rebuilding mode, and Brad Stevens is still trying to figure out what to do with that offense. So.
And if you're Dwight Howard, you only have so many more years left.
Well, and that's the thing. Yeah, he's not getting any younger. He's been in the league for about 12 years now, and especially for big men, it's like how many more years does he have to to get a ring or So I mean, this could be. I mean, and also that's the thing. I mean, you talk about all those years he was in Orlando, and they got close.
They beat LeBron.
Yeah, they did beat LeBron that one year before getting railroaded in the finals. But I think at the same time, it's just he's also looking for a team that I think could give him good support, and I think the Hawks could do that. So.
All right, so you heard it here from Ben first. Signal Podcast. We are out. Dwight Howard, Hawks, maybe.
Yeah, let's hope so.